Hello and greetings to the people of St. Michael and all angels in this season in which we're considering all the many gifts that we have here in this community, particularly how those gifts have come up in this time during COVID and quarantine and all that's happened in the past 20 months. Team Life asked me to get together some folks who have participated in our Zoom small groups over this time. We have been doing batches of these small groups since the pandemic began. Typically, they last 5 to 6 weeks and have 4 to 6 people in each group. It's been a chance to get to know one another at some depth, to check in about how our weeks are going, and to take a look at the gospel reading, which is coming up for the upcoming Sunday. And so we have a few folks here who have been participating in these groups, and they're going to share some of what has been beneficial to them about that, starting with Dave Riley. Dave, what have you enjoyed about this?
If there's a bright side to COVID, it's these groups, because it's something that didn't happen pre-COVID. It happened post-COVID, and it's a bit of a spiritual check-in at the middle of the week that I find very valuable. And COVID has been tough on us, but this is one of the good things. It gives me that grounding midweek, and I really appreciate it.
And it's been really special to me because I like to be able to stay in touch with my friends, and that's allowed me to do that. These groups, I've been able to stay in touch with people from the church in these groups and in other groups through the church. And it just really helps get me in the right state of mind during this isolation of COVID.
Thanks, Marilee. How about you, Jana? Oh, you're muted, as happens frequently in groups.
The thing about these groups is that we really get to know one another in a way we generally never would at church unless we were on a committee or something. And I found that people are really open and vulnerable and are willing to talk about a lot of things, which is very helpful. The one thing that I would say is that getting a chance to chew on the upcoming gospel reading for the upcoming week with one of our priests and sharing our ideas about that has been really valuable. I tend to have some ideas that might be a little off the Episcopal range at times, but I felt that I was comfortable in speaking what I thought, and really benefited from hearing other people's view. These groups are great. Let's not stop them ever.
I'll add to that I think having these groups and having the opportunity to hear the gospel so many times during the weekend, to hear what people are thinking about the gospel, has totally changed my preaching and what I preach about on Sunday morning. So I really love that too. How about you, Pat?
Yeah, for me, this has been a great opportunity to get to know more people. Before COVID, I generally would get to church a little bit before the service and stay through the service, and then say hi to James and Chris on the way out the door and head on my way. And so this has been a great opportunity to get to know people and feel connected and more engaged in the community. And now when I do go to church, I see some familiar faces from Zoom, and I'm more apt to stay around and chat. So it's just been a nice sense of connection and community for me.
That's wonderful. I'm glad you're here, Pat. And you, Joanna, what have you appreciated about these groups?
So the last about year, I had a lot of childhood trauma kind of get re-triggered, and had spent a lot of time with this just general feeling of not being safe and a lot of other things. And being part of these groups gave me a place to come and feel safe, like it was okay to talk about things, and it was okay to have an emotion around other people. And I received a lot of just really valuable, safe, helpful support. And that helped me a lot. in working on recovering and I did feel like I made connections that were deeper than I had before, even though I was on Zoom. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Joanna. And thanks for everybody who shared. This is just, again, kind of like Dave said, it's been a bright spot in the midst of a lot of change and turmoil. The thing that I've heard over and over again is that these groups have let people know each other in a deeper way than most of us have had the opportunity to do when we were meeting in person. And that's been a real gift. And it's something that we're really thankful for at St. Michael's. We're really thankful for the resilience of this community and for the ways that we have found to stay connected during this time. And we look forward to all the ways that we'll continue to grow in the time ahead of us. So join us for a small group if you'd like to, and certainly keep supporting this wonderful place, this wonderful community, which has been a grace for so many of us during a difficult time. So thanks for watching, and God bless.